Hello, mighty companion. This is Earl Purdy, and I want to welcome you to Hardcore Course in Miracles. And we're going to talk about how to get rid of futility, how to get rid of depression, how to find what you are seeking, Welcome to Hardcore Course in Miracles. You're on Facebook Live, and we're going to start out with our theme song. And our theme song to help us get centered is We Are One by John Christmas at www.johnchristmas.com. You can get this music. Here you go. It's hot.
There's a call for a God, I see it everywhere. Everybody's running scared, and everything is turning upside down. But the words I hear, they keep coming through from deep inside of me and you. It's telling us that love is who I am.
Hello.
You and me were not that far apart. Yeah, we're beating the same heart. We've been together from the start. Tell me, can you hear it? Tell me, can you feel it? Put your arms around it and know that we are one. Yeah, yeah, we are one. Now let's come together and understand that love was born inside of every man. He's waiting for us to choose love as ourselves. When you choose love, you know you choose me too. And everyone becomes a part of you. And then you'll know that love is who I am. You and me were not that far apart. Yeah, we're beating the same heart. We've been together from the start. Tell me, can you hear it? Tell me, can you feel it? Put your arms around it and know that we are one. Yeah, yeah, we are one. Oh, we are one.
Welcome to Hardcore Course in Miracles. I'm Earl Purdy, and I love sharing A Course in Miracles. And we're going to focus on what does seeking and finding. How do you seek and find instead of seeking and not finding? How do you get rid of depression? How do you get rid of a sense of futility? How do you get rid of a sense of being defeated? We're going to talk about that. We're going to focus in on that in today's Hardcore Course in Miracles.
You and me were not that far apart. Yeah, we're beating the same heart. We've been together from the start. Tell me, can you hear it? Tell me, can you feel it? Put your arms around it.
You know something, it always feels so good to know that I'm with you, mighty companion. I have loved doing this for 40 years because I've gotten so many benefits and been able to help other people claim the benefits of A Course in Miracles. This is Hardcore Course in Miracles. I'm Earl Purdy, and I'm going to be working out of the Course in Miracles book and the Foundation for Inner Peace version. And we're going to be on page 224, page 224 in the text, chapter 12, section 4, paragraph 4, chapter 12, section 4, paragraph 4, and we're going to be on page 224 in the Foundation for Inner Peace version of A Course in Miracles, the Blue Book. And the section that we're on is seeking and finding, seeking and finding, seeking and finding. Here we go. I want to give you the guidelines. I want to give you the guidelines from A Course in Miracles. I'm going to give you the guidelines to studying A Course in Miracles, the guidelines to working the ideas, the guidelines from the Course in Miracles. It's at the introduction of the workbook. It says, remember, 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 remember. Remember, did not say, analyze, 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 analyze. It did not say analyze, 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 analyze. What it says is remember only this. Remember only this. You need not believe the ideas. You need not accept the ideas. You need not even welcome the ideas. Some of the ideas you may actively resist. Some of the ideas you may actively resist. Some of the ideas you will find hard to believe. Some of the ideas you will find hard to believe. Some of the ideas you will find hard to believe. And others may seem to be quite startling. Some of the ideas from A Course in Miracles may seem to be startling to you. You are not asked to judge the ideas at all. You are not asked to analyze the ideas at all. Their use will give the ideas in A Course in Miracles meaning to you, and will show you that the ideas are true. The ideas are true. The ideas are true. If you use A Course in Miracles, you will see that the ideas are true. If you use the ideas, you will see that the ideas are true. The Course in Miracles says no matter what your reaction to the ideas may be, no matter what your reaction is to what the Course in Miracles says, no matter what your reaction to the ideas may be, no matter what your reaction to the ideas may be, use them. Use the ideas. If your reaction is, I don't believe it, I'm upset with it, I don't like it, or if your reaction is, I love it, it feels good to me, just use the ideas in A Course in Miracles, and it will show you that the ideas are true. I am Earl Purdy. I've been a teacher and a student of A Course in Miracles for over 40 years now. I have done it full time as my function in the world for over 35 years. It works. When you use it, it works. But what is it that you must remember? The Course in Miracles is a perception corrector. So the Course in Miracles works at the level of the mind, at the level of thinking. It works at the level of how you see things. So remember that about the Course in Miracles, and then you won't get confused about what the purpose of the Course in Miracles is. The purpose of the Course in Miracles is to help you achieve inner peace. Because when you have inner peace, when you know the truth and you have inner peace, then you can hear the voice of your higher self. You can hear the voice for God in you. When you're in conflict, the Course says, when you're in conflict, you cannot hear your guidance. A person in fear and conflict and anger and upset cannot hear the voice for truth, the voice for love. So if there's something in your life right now that you're giving yourself some conflict about, some upset about, some fear about, then what you want to do is get back to peace first. So we're going to be on page 224, chapter 12, section 4, paragraph 4, on page 224. I am a divine remembering coach. My goal is to support you in hearing what's being said. And do you realize, the Course in Miracles starts out, do you realize that the ego, what is the ego? The wrong voice, the wrong-minded voice. Do you realize the fearful thoughts in your mind, the separation, idea of separation and fear in your mind? The ego must set you on a journey which cannot but lead to a sense of two things. When you're listening to your ego, when you're listening to the incorrect voice, when you're listening to the wrong voice, it will lead you to two things. The wrong voice, listening to the wrong voice, will lead you to feeling a sense of futility and depression. When you're listening to the wrong voice, you will feel depressed. When you're listening to the guidance of the incorrect voice, you will feel a sense of futility. So what you want to do is you want to learn how to tell when you're listening to the right voice and when you're listening to the wrong voice, so that you can make the right choice. So the Course in Miracles teaches you how to seek and find. So work back from your feelings. That's what you do. You work back from your feelings. Do I feel a sense of futility? Do I feel depressed? Do I feel angry? Do I feel upset? Do I feel sick? Do I feel as if I'm in lack? Then I'm listening to the wrong voice. I'm listening to the wrong voice. So if you feel, do you know that if you feel futility and if you feel depression right now, you're not listening to your guidance, you're not listening to the voice of love, you're not listening to the voice of truth. If you feel depressed and angry and guilty about something right now, that's the area that you're listening to the voice of fear. You're listening to the voice of the ego. The Course in Miracles says all through the book, and those of you who study and read it, you know I'm telling the truth. The Course in Miracles says many times, remember, don't forget. And it also says over and over and over and over and over again, read me slowly. Do the Course in Miracles slowly. I call it the cheesecake of truth. When you have a cheesecake, you don't eat 5 or 6 slices usually of a cheesecake because it's so rich. Do you know that that is also what is true about A Course in Miracles? Nibble it, bite it off. Do you realize that your ego just leads you to futility and depression? So, to seek and not to find is hardly joyous. To constantly seek and not find what you want, that's not a happy experience. That's not a joyful experience. Seeking love, not finding it. Seeking peace, not finding it. Seeking God, not finding it. Seeking abundance, not finding it. Seeking health, not finding it. Seeking wealth, not finding it. There's nothing about that that's joyous. There's nothing about that that's fun. So there's a question that I want you to ask yourself. Is this the promise you would keep? Is what the promise that you would keep? The promise of seeking and not finding. Do you want to keep looking for your happiness and not finding it? Do you want to keep looking for fulfillment and not finding it? That's a promise. And is that a promise that you want to keep? Do you want to keep on doing what does not work? Do you want to keep on doing what doesn't bring you the peace and the joy and the happiness that you want? Because if you don't have the peace and joy and the happiness that you want, then you're listening to your ego, the wrong voice. And the wrong voice is setting you on a journey that makes you feel depressed. And feeling depressed because you're not getting what you want, that's not a joyful experience. So I'm going to ask you again, is seeking and not finding, is that a promise that you want to keep? Is that a promise that you want to keep? Now, the ego is the wrong voice, the fearful voice. The voice of the ego is the wrong voice. So what is the Holy Spirit? Well, the Holy Spirit is what the Course calls right-mindedness. The Holy Spirit is the voice of truth in you, the voice for God in you. So the ego is the wrong-minded voice. The Holy Spirit in you is the right guidance. It's the right voice. So what is it that a smart person wants to do? A smart person wants to learn the difference between the two voices. If you want peace, you have to learn how to tell the difference between the voice of the ego and the voice of the Holy Spirit, the voice of fear and the voice of love, the voice of wrong-mindedness and the voice of right-mindedness. That should be a person's number one priority. And that's what the Course in Miracles teaches. It teaches how to tell the difference between the ego and its advice and the Holy Spirit and the Holy Spirit's advice. So you could break it down to love and fear. So you could say, do you realize that fear must set you on a journey? Listening to your fearful thoughts will set you on a journey that will lead to futility and depression. To seek and not find what you want, that's hardly something that's a happy, joyous experience. So ask yourself, is this a promise that you would keep? Would you keep on seeking and not finding? So the Holy Spirit in you, the love in you, your real self, the correct voice. The Course says the Holy Spirit offers you another promise. So the right mind in you is going to give you another promise. The right mind in you is going to make a promise to you. God in you, spirit in you, love in you, truth in you, innocence in you is going to make another promise. So your right voice is going to make you another promise. So how can you tell when you're listening to the correct voice? Okay, if you're listening to the incorrect voice, what happens? Well, when you're listening to the incorrect voice, it leads to futility and depression. So if you're feeling depression, what are you listening to? The wrong voice. When you're listening to the Holy Spirit, when you're listening to the right voice, when you're listening to the voice of truth, when you're listening to the voice of love, you will know it. How will you know it? When you're listening to the correct voice, how will you know it? When you're listening to the correct voice, the Holy Spirit will offer you another promise, and a promise that will lead to joy. So when you are feeling joyful and happy and peaceful and joyful and happy and peaceful and joyful, when you are feeling peaceful and happy and joyful, that means you are listening to the right voice. When you're listening to a voice that you feel joyful, and it doesn't involve any form of attack, or you are not doing anything that's creating any kind of harm for you or anyone else, and you're feeling joyous, you are listening to the voice of the Holy Spirit, the voice of God, the voice of truth, the voice of love. How can you tell when you're listening to the right voice? How can you tell when you're listening to the right voice? It leads to joy. You will experience joy. When you're listening to the Holy Spirit makes a promise. Love in you, truth in you makes a promise to you that it will lead you to joy. God, the truth, will lead you to joy, because this is the promise that God is making to you. This is the promise according to A Course in Miracles. This is the promise that God is making to you. Pretend right now I'm God talking to you, and God is saying to you through me, through my body, through the Course, what is God saying? What is love saying? What is your right mind saying to you? It says, His promise, the Holy Spirit's promise, is always seek and you will find. Love promises that you will find love. If you truly seek love, if you truly seek the truth, you will succeed. If you seek the truth, what's true, what's love, you will succeed. If you seek what the Course in Miracles is teaching you to seek, forgiveness, right-mindedness, you will receive. So I'm going to take a minute to say this, because the Course in Miracles says it's about remembering, not analyzing. Remember what? That when you're listening to the wrong voice, you will feel what? Futility and depression. When you're listening to the wrong voice, you will experience. We're going to focus on the section we're studying. I would like to ask you to focus in on what we're studying. That's what the focus should be on, what we are studying in the paragraph. So try to remember and focus on what we're talking about tonight. I know there are many other things in the Course, and there are many other things that the Course in Miracles says, but we together in our hardcore class, we're going to focus on the section we're working on. And the section that we're working on is telling us that when you listen to your ego, then it means that you are going to feel futility and depression. And when you feel those two things, it means you're listening to the wrong voice. And is this a promise that you're going to keep to yourself? It's that you're going to keep on seeking love and seeking peace and not finding it. Then the Course in Miracles says, but there's another part of you. This other part of you is called the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit is your loving right mind. It's the part of you that's still linked to God. It's the part of you that's still linked to that which created you. And when you're linked to the part of you that created you, then you will find what you're seeking. And the Course in Miracles says, you are seeking love. You are seeking happiness. You are seeking peace. You may think it's the car. You may think it's the job. You may think it's the relationship. You may think it's the things outside yourself that you want. But the things that you want, they are things that you think are going to give you the experience that you want. So I think that car is going to, maybe I think that car is going to give me the experience of joy, or that house is going to give me the experience of joy. You can experience joy with those things, but they're not the cause of your joy. So what you really want is joy. That's why you want it, is you want love, you want peace. You think those things, whatever you want, you think those things are going to give you that feeling of satisfaction. So what you really want then is satisfaction. You really want love. Now, the Course in Miracles says, under the Holy Spirit's guidance, under love's guidance, under the guidance of your right mind, you can't be defeated. So if you want to be successful, if you want to have guaranteed success, what should you do? You should follow the Holy Spirit's guidance. You should follow the guidance of your higher self. You should follow the guidance of the divine. The Course in Miracles helps you remove the blocks to hearing the guidance of God. So under the Holy Spirit's guidance, you can't be defeated. You cannot be defeated under the Holy Spirit's guidance. You cannot be defeated. You cannot be defeated. You cannot be defeated under love's guidance. When God is guiding you, you will know it. The way you can tell when God is guiding you is it will lead to joy. God's promise is always seek and you will find. God's guidance is seek and you will find. That means that under God's guidance, you cannot be defeated under God's guidance. Under the right guidance, you never feel defeated because you can be defeated. When you're listening to the right guidance, you cannot be defeated. So if you are feeling defeated, you're listening to the Holy Spirit's guidance. It says right here that under the Holy Spirit, the guidance is seek and you will find. Under God's guidance, you cannot be defeated. It's no such thing as listening to the guidance of truth and then being defeated. You need to get clear about that. If you want to learn the difference between love and fear and God's guidance and the ego's guidance, if you want to learn how to tell the difference between when you're listening to the guidance you are making up for yourself and when you're listening to the guidance of spirit, spirit can be defeated. There's no such thing as I listen to God and I feel defeated. I'm listening and I'm doing the course and I'm still feeling depressed all the time. You're not listening. You may be doing the course, but it's the ego that's guiding you in your study of the course. It's the wrong voice that you're listening to, even in the study of the course. If all you feel is futility and depression when you study it. What is the Holy Spirit's journey leading you to? Where is the Holy Spirit leading you? Where is the voice for love leading you? It's leading you. It's taking you to a journey. So it says the Holy Spirit is the journey to accomplishment. The Holy Spirit is going to take you to accomplishment. With the Holy Spirit, you're going to accomplish. You're going to have a feeling that you are really accomplishing your goal if you're listening to the loving right voice. It says, his is the journey to accomplishment. And the goal, now do you know this is one of the coolest things in the Course in Miracles that we are going to be told right now. It says, his is the journey to accomplishment, and the goal that the Holy Spirit sets before you, the goal that God gives you, the goal that your higher self, Holy Spirit, sets before you. Guess what's going to happen with any goal that God gives you? According to A Course in Miracles, what's going to happen with any goal that love gives you? how is it going to turn out? Well, the Course in Miracles says that the goal he sets before you, he will give you. So what did you say? It says, Holy Spirit, the goal that the Holy Spirit sets before you, the Holy Spirit is going to give you that goal. So I'm going to set a goal for you, but I'm going to give you the goal. I'm going to give you the accomplishment of the goal. So anything that the God tells you to do, God's going to give to you. God's going to give to you. One of the things that I have learned in 40 plus years of teaching and learning A Course in Miracles is that the more you hear the Course in Miracles, the more you get rid of the blocks to hearing A Course in Miracles, one of the things that you're going to notice over and over again, all the way through the material, is that it's the Holy Spirit or God saying, let me do it for you. Let me do it for you. I'm the one that does the healing. I'm the one that does it. Let me correct your perception. Let me give you the love. Let me remove the obstacles. Let me remove the blocks. Over and over again, it says that. I'll make your way smooth. I'll take the obstacles out of the way. Love not only sets the goal of love for you, it says, I will give it to you. I will set the goal and I will give it to you. Why? Why? It says, well, because the Holy Spirit, what is it that the Holy Spirit will never do? What is it that someone that loves you will never do? What is it that love will never do? Love will never deceive you. Love would never fool you. Love would never lie to you. Love would never deceive you. You are the child of God. You are a creation of the Almighty. You are a creation of love. You are a creation of all that is. And Holy Spirit would never deceive you, because the Holy Spirit loves you. Your right mind loves you. There is a part of you that is divine, that totally loves you. And do you know how the part of you that is divine loves you? The part of you that is divine loves you with the love of the Father, loves you with the love of the Creator. You are loved. You are loved. You are really, 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 really loved. You are truly, really loved. You are totally loved. You are completely loved. You are loved. Totally and completely loved. You are loved. Always loved. Totally loved. Completely loved by the Holy Spirit, by your higher self, by your real self, by your true self. Listen to me. You want to know how to tell the difference when you're listening to the lying voice. Don't you want to know how to tell the difference when you're listening to the incorrect voice? How do you know? Well, if I'm listening to my incorrect voice, I feel a sense of futility and depression. When I'm listening to the wrong voice guiding me and telling me what to do, I feel a sense of defeat. So what happens when you're listening to the right voice? What happens when you're listening to the correct guidance? Well, it leads you to joy. And you find the joy that you're seeking. You find the love that you're seeking. You find the peace that you're seeking when you're listening to the right voice. You find what you are looking for when you're listening to the right voice, and what you want is peace. What you want is love. What you want is joy. No matter what the things or situations or circumstances, you tell yourself the joy and happiness is going to come through. What you really want is love. What you really want is God. What you really want is peace. That was the first paragraph. So what did it tell us? Well, whenever you're listening to your ego, whenever you're listening to the wrong voice, that it's always going to lead you to some form of depression and sense of futility. So I'm trying to remember. The ego is always going to lead me to futility and a sense of defeat and depression. Then I need to ask myself, is that a promise I want to continue to keep? Is that I'm going to keep seeking for my happiness and never finding it? Then then what else did it say? It said, well, you have the Holy Spirit with you. You have God with you. You have a divine part of you that's with you. And it's going to make a promise to you. The divine in you, the love in you, is going to offer you another promise. Then that's seek and you will find. And seeking and finding leads to joy. Seeking and finding leads to joy. Seeking and finding what you want to find leads to joy. Then the Course in Miracles says that if you're listening to the right guidance, if you're listening to the right voice, you're going to be successful. If you're listening to the right voice, you can't be defeated. Can't be defeated. Can't be defeated. If you're listening to the right voice, you cannot be defeated. If you're listening to the correct guidance, you absolutely cannot be defeated. Because God, Spirit, the Holy Spirit, love is leading you on a journey to accomplishment. And the goal that God sets before you, God will give to you. God will give you whatever God has set as the goal for you. If the goal is love, I'll give it to you. If the goal is joy, I want you to be happy, I'm going to give you the happiness. If my goal for you is God, is for you to have love, then I'm going to give you the love. Any goal that I set is what the Course is saying, that our Creator is saying to us. You can tell when I have set a goal for you because I'm going to give it to you. It's a gift. Anything that the Holy Spirit gives you is going to be a gift. What love gives is a gift. When you love somebody, when you really love somebody, the love that you give them is a gift to them. It's not a bargain. It's not something that you're going to give them if they act a certain way or be a certain way or obey your scripts. That's a bargain. That's not love. If you're going to love someone, then you're going to give that love as a gift. The goal, you tell somebody, I really want to love you, then I'm going to give you the love. I want you to love me, so I'm going to give you the love. I'm going to give you what I want to receive. Listen carefully. And if someone loves you, how can you tell? Because if someone loves you, they will never, ever, ever deceive you. Love doesn't ever deceive. Love doesn't ever lie to you. Love doesn't ever fool you. And the Holy Spirit loves you with the love of God. There's a part of you that loves you as much as God does. There's a part of you that has one job, that's to give you the love from your Creator. There's a part of you that only wants to give you love, that only wants to extend love. Get clear about that. That's the Holy Spirit in you. So, listen. If you don't tune in to my talks for any other reason other than to hear another child of God tell you that you are totally loved and you're only loved and that you're innocent and that the part of you that loves you wants to give you the love and you don't have to work for it, you don't have to earn it. When love is working with you, love gives you. Love gives, love gives, love gives. Love doesn't bargain. Love gives, love gives. So what is it that you are going to undertake? What is it that you are going to undertake? Well, you will undertake a journey. You're going to undertake a journey. You're going to undertake a journey. Do you hear what I'm saying? You're going to undertake a journey. Now, why is it that you are going to undertake a journey? Why is it that you're going to go on a journey? Why is it that you're going to go on a journey? You're going to go on a journey because you are not at home in this world. Be honest with yourself. If you really are an awakening being, then you will recognize that you don't really truly feel at home in this world. That there's been a part of you that's never felt at home in this world your whole life. You've never felt at home in a world full of separation and fear and division, where you could be hurt, where it looks like you could be hurt, where it looks like those you love can be hurt. You are not. The Course in Miracles is saying, well, let me get you straight. You are not home in this world. You are not at home. Your home is love. Your home is heaven. Your home is reality. And those are all synonyms for each other. So you are going to undertake a journey. You're going to undertake a journey because you're not at home in this world. You're not at peace in this world. You don't feel complete safety in this world. So you need to what? You need to go on a journey. You need to take a journey because you're not at home in this world. Earl, you're not home in this world, Earl. You're not at home in this world, girl. You're not at home in this world, man. You're not at home. You're not at home in this world. And what are you going to do? Well, he says, well, you will search. You will search for your home. You will search for love, whether you realize where it is or not. Even if you don't realize where your real home is, you're going to search for it. You're going to search for love. You're going to search for peace, whether you realize where it is or not. Now, would you like to know where you should not look for your ultimate happiness, for your home, so you can save some time? Would you like to save some time? Would you like to save some time? Well, you will save time if you recognize this. And it says it right here, right here. It says, if you believe your home, your happiness, if you believe that your home, happiness, and peace is outside, if you believe that your peace and your joy and your happiness, your home, is outside of you, if you see your happiness as outside you, it says the search will be futile. Do you want a futile search? Then keep believing that your happiness is outside of your own thinking, that is outside of your own perception, that your happiness is outside of your own mind. Then you're going to keep seeking for your happiness where it's not really located. And so the search will be a futile search. If you think your happiness is in that house, then you're going to have a futile search for happiness. You can find happiness inside yourself and then be happy in your house, but it ain't the house that's making you happy. Everything in the outside world, according to A Course in Miracles, everything you see in the outside world is neutral. It's neither good nor bad. It's neutral. It will be what you want it to be for you, depending on whether you're listening to your ego, which is the wrong-minded voice, the fearful voice, or whether you're listening to the Holy Spirit, the voice that promises you will find what you're looking for. So you can either be experiencing, giving yourself joy in your house, or you could be giving yourself a feeling of defeat and futility in your house. Do you get what I'm saying? Do you get what the Course in Miracles is saying? The Course in Miracles is saying to you right now that you're going to have a futile journey if you believe that your ultimate happiness is outside. It says it right here. If you believe your home is outside you, which is your happiness, your peace, your love, your reality, if you believe it's outside you, then the search is going to be a futile search. Now, why is it that people don't remember how to look within? You tell most people, look within, and they kind of look at you like they're looking at the inside of their body. Does that mean to look inside my body? No. Looking within. The Course in Miracles says, you don't remember how to look within. Why is it that you don't remember how to look within? because you don't believe your home is within. You see, I don't look inside for my happiness. I don't look inside my own mind and heart for my happiness, because I believe my happiness is outside of me. I believe my happiness is that thing outside of me that I'm going to get. I think my happiness is coming from, if somebody else were different, I'd be happy. I think my happiness is outside of myself. I'm looking outside myself for power, money, fame, specialness, physical pleasure, power, money, fame, physical pleasure, specialness. That's what I'm seeking, prestige, because I think that's where, I think that flat screen TV is what's going to make me happy. So it doesn't occur to me to look within myself for happiness. And that's why I don't remember how to look inside, because I don't believe what I really want is inside me. I think what's inside of me is the problem. I think the sin and the guilt and the not being enough and the insecurity, and I think all that's inside of me. I think the challenging stuff is inside of me, and I believe all the good stuff is outside of me. So therefore, I don't remember how to look inside. As a matter of fact, I don't really want to look inside. I'm scared to see what's inside of me if I really look really deep inside myself. So why is it that you don't remember how to look within? He says, well, you don't remember how to look within because you don't believe your home is there. You don't believe your happiness is there. But don't sweat it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about the fact that you don't believe your home is on the inside. Don't sweat it because you don't remember how to look within. Don't sweat it. Why? He says, well, because the Holy Spirit remembers for you. Love remembers for you. Love remembers for you. Love remembers for you. So you don't have to worry about it. God remembers for you. God remembers how to look within for you. God remembers how to find your home for you. Listen to what I'm saying. If you listen to what the Course in Miracles is saying instead of trying to analyze what the Course in Miracles is saying, you will realize you're hearing the most beautiful stuff you've ever heard in your life. So just set down the brilliant analytical mind that knows everything and is trying to figure everything out. If you're doing that, and remember this, you're going to undertake a journey because you're not at home in this world. You're going to search for your home. You're going to search for the love, whether you recognize where it is or not. If you look outside of yourself and you believe that all your happiness is something outside of yourself, you're going to be seeking your happiness where it isn't located. And so you're not going to find it. But don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Why? Because the Holy Spirit remembers for you where your home is located, where your peace is located. And what is the Holy Spirit going to do? What is the Holy Spirit going to do? Well, the Holy Spirit's going to guide you. The Holy Spirit, love, is going to guide you. Your true self is going to guide you. Your true self is going to guide you. Your Holy Spirit, the Holy Spirit, God, your true self is going to guide you. Where is the Holy Spirit going to guide you? The Holy Spirit is going to guide you to your home. The Holy Spirit is going to guide you to love. The Holy Spirit is going to guide you to peace, to joy. The Holy Spirit is going to guide you to your reality, because your reality is abundance. Your reality is health, joy. Your reality is safe. Your reality is nurturing. That's your home, and you know it's your home. That's why you've never felt completely at home in this world, because deep within yourself, we all know that this is not our ultimate reality. And deep down inside of ourselves, all of us know that there must be more than what we're seeing and experiencing in the world. And so the Course in Miracles says, well, the reason why you can't find your home is because you don't know where to look for it. You don't remember. Like he said, you don't remember how to look on the inside. You don't know how to, he said, the Course is saying, you all don't really know how to look within. You don't really know how to look within. This is, so you don't believe your happiness in your home is within, or you be looking within. But the Holy Spirit remembers it for you. And the Holy Spirit will guide you. Holy Spirit will guide you to your home, to love, because that's Holy Spirit's mission. That's God's mission. And as the Holy Spirit fulfills its mission, as your inner guide fulfills its mission, it's going to teach you what your mission is. Your mission is the same as the Holy Spirit's mission, which is to ultimately teach others the truth, be a channel for others looking within, being a channel to remind others that they can seek and find if they learn how to listen to the voice of the Holy Spirit within themselves, which is what A Course in Miracles and any true wisdom text will teach you. It will teach you how to hear the voice for God, how to hear the voice for love, and how to be able to tell when you're not listening to the right voice. Then love is going to teach you that your mission is the same as love's mission. So that means by guiding your brothers home, by guiding your equals, brothers mean equals, by guiding your equals home, you will find, in other words, love, God is telling me to be loving and forgiving, and that I can seek and find if I listen to God, if I listen to the Holy Spirit, that God's going to set the goal before me, and God is going to give me the goal. It's going to give me the happiness. So that's what Holy Spirit is telling me. That's what the Course in Miracles is telling me, right? And then I'm turning around and doing what? I am telling you what the Holy Spirit is telling me in the Course, right? So that means the Holy Spirit is teaching me my mission, which is to extend love and seek and find. And then it says, then as the Holy Spirit is teaching me how to do that, then I'm going to pass that information on to everybody else that's sent to me, like you. So by guiding you toward the love to look within, then I'm actually following the Holy Spirit, because the Holy Spirit is doing the same thing with me, teaching me how to tell when I'm listening to the right voice and when I'm listening to the wrong voice. Take a breath, take a breath. Well, mighty companions, I'm going to do a quick recap of the main points that we made, because it's about not remembering a lot of stuff. It's about remembering some things that the Course is saying and remembering it well. I'm Earl Purdy. I'm a full-time teacher of the Course in Miracles, because that's my function in the world, and I love that. If you feel led and moved to give a financial expression of appreciation to my teaching ministry, and you really feel that, then go to my website, www.earlpurdy.com, earlpurdy.com, and you can make a donation there. You can use PayPal, you can use Venmo, you can use Zelle, you can use the Cash App. My email, which is all you need, is earlpurdy@earlpurdy.com, earlpurdy@earlpurdy.com. If you would like to do some deeper work with me, to take advantage of the 40 years that I've been working with Course in Miracles students, showing them how to apply the Course in Miracles to situations and circumstances that they're going through, that they need to have a healing in or to get straightened out. I know the parts of the book that relate to whatever the thing is specifically that you think you're going through, and together we apply it to your situation, and I'll show you how to do the Course in a very practical way, so I could be used as a mentor, counselor, advisor in that way. I'm available. It's called a clarity session. It's called a clarity session. I've also been a professional astrologer and numerologist for over 45 years. For those who are open-minded to receiving information through other ways also, because the Holy Spirit speaks to us in through whatever we've learned and through whatever we do. So you can go online, look under the clarity session, get more details about my services, and you can book a session with me right there online. You can book a session. On Sundays at 1 p.m. Mountain Time on the Earl Purdy page on Facebook, I do another Facebook Course in Miracles Live. It's 1 p.m. Mountain Time. If you're here in Denver, Colorado, I am also doing an in-person. It's also, I do it on live, and I also do it in person on Sundays at 1 p.m. at 1555 Race Street here in Denver, Colorado. So those in the Denver area, we can join in person. Thursdays at 7 p.m. Mountain Time, we do Hardcore Course in Miracles. Hardcore Course in Miracles. That's what we're doing, where I work with Course in Miracles students, and we look at the book and we use the book and we hear what it's saying together. And I hope it's been helpful to you as it is to me. So that's on the Earl Purdy page, also on Facebook, and I also have a ton of videos on YouTube, including all of the workbook lessons. So just Google the lesson in my name. I'm here to be truly helpful you all. I heard this book tell me that if I'm willing to let the Holy Spirit guide me, that the Holy Spirit will give me the goal that he's setting before me. And I'm telling you, I am having love given to me. I'm having support given to me, kindness given to me, appreciation given to me. So I want to give it to you, and I want to give it to others because it's being given to me. So let's do a quick review. You all are awesome. I love you so much. It's not how much you cover the Course in Miracles. You could take one sentence in the Course in Miracles and really work it, and it would lead you into the joy and the happiness and the peace that you want. So let's do a quick review. It says, when you're listening to the wrong voice, how can you tell when you're listening to the wrong voice? Well, when you're listening to the wrong voice, you will feel depressed. You'll feel a sense of futility and depression. And the one thing that's not really joyous, the one thing that really doesn't make a person happy, is to keep seeking and not finding. So it's time for you to stop seeking and not finding. I appreciate every one of you and the comments that you're making. I go back through it and I look at the comments. Please share this video. Please share this video and watch it or listen to it at least 4 times. It's all about repetition. So ask yourself, if you're going to keep on keeping a promise of seeking and not finding, aren't you tired of seeking what you think you want and not finding it? Well, the Course in Miracles says break that promise. How do you break that promise to keep seeking and not finding? Well, the Holy Spirit, God in you, gives you another promise. God in you promises you that you're going to have joy if you listen to me. That's what the Holy Spirit is saying inside of you. If you listen to me, the voice for love in you is saying, if you listen to me, if you listen to the right voice, if you listen to the truth, and the Course in Miracles teaches you the difference between the two, then you are going to seek and you will find. Seek and you will find. Seek and you will find when you're listening to the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit, God. Under God's guidance, you can't be defeated. There's no such thing as I'm listening to the right guidance and feeling defeated and I'm feeling sad and depressed and afraid and guilty. You can't possibly be listening to the right guidance if you feel that way. The Holy Spirit's journey, the Holy Spirit is going to take you on a journey that leads to accomplishment. And the goal that the Holy Spirit sets before you, the Holy Spirit is going to give you the love. It's going to give you the goal. The Holy Spirit, love, would never deceive you. Love would never deceive you. God delivers. Listen to me. You're going to undertake a journey because you are not at home in the world of the ego. In this world of fear and separation, you know you don't feel at home. Do you know that you're going to search for your home, whether you realize where it is or not? You're going to search for that real love, whether you realize where it is or not. If you believe that your happiness and your peace and your joy is outside of you, then your search is going to be futile because you're seeking your happiness where it isn't located. If you're looking for something where it's not located, you're not going to find it. But do you know that the reason why a person doesn't remember how to look within? Do you understand why a person doesn't know how to look within? Because they don't believe their happiness is within, so they don't have any practice looking within. If I thought my happiness was within me, I'd be mastering looking within. I would be mastering meditation, contemplation. I would be mastering the Course in Miracles workbook lessons. I would be reading the Course in Miracles text. If I really wanted to look within, if I really wanted to have what I really wanted, then I'm going to look for it where it's located in my mind, in my heart. Because what you perceive on the outer is a reflection of what's going on in the inner. So guess what? Even if you don't know how to look within, the Holy Spirit remembers how to look within for you. God will guide you to your home. God will guide you to your home. Spirit will guide you to love. Spirit will guide you to reality. The Holy Spirit is going to fulfill the Holy Spirit's mission, and the Holy Spirit's going to teach you your mission, because your mission is the same thing. Your mission is to guide others home by also reminding them that their happiness comes from God, comes from love, comes from the Holy Spirit, that your happiness is within, that if you change your thinking and your mind within and listen to the right voice, then you're going to be on a journey that leads to joy and happiness. And that's how you can tell. And that's how you can tell. Seek and you will find. 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 Seek and I will find. With the Holy Spirit, I will seek and I will find. With love, with God, you will seek and find. With the Holy Spirit, you will seek and find. What is the promise? What is the promise of God? What is the promise of God? What is the promise of God? Well, God's promise is you're going to seek for love and happiness and you will find it, because you're finally going to be looking for it for where it's really located, and so you will find it. As a matter of fact, the Holy Spirit will give you the love. We'll give it to you. We'll give it to you. Mighty companions, I love you. I appreciate you. Listen to this over and over again. Thank you for your generosity. Thank you for being who you are. I'm Earl Purdy. I'm going to sign off, and I'm going to listen to this myself, which is what I always do after my class. I kick back, and then I become the student, and I listen to whatever Spirit said through me. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I hope I get a chance to work with you on a personal level. You are my equals. I love you so much. Thank you.